Welcome to the first Monday morning Messy Moto. Today, we're building a workbench.
I've wanted to build a workbench for quite some time, so I figured why not now when I have the motorcycle to build, so I'll have a place to build the engine. I got all the wood together from Home Depot, and I had a few 2x4 sheets that I already had that I used from a table I've made before. So altogether, I think if you had to buy the wood, it'd be around $250 with the lag bolts included. My goal for the height of the workbench top is to be about 38 inches. We're going to be working with the motorcycle engine quite a bit, precision measurements, and I don't want to have to bend over too much to get a good look at what I'm doing. Now the bench is going to sit a little higher than 38 inches, and here's why. I cut the 4x4s to 37.5 inches, but I'm using 3/4 inch 2x4 project sheets just because they're sturdier than 1/2 inch. So I'm perfectly okay with that little bit of extra height. Let's get to cutting and see how everything turns out. Now here's something that used to catch me off guard all the time: the width of the blade. If I cut perfectly at 37.5 inches, I'm cutting into my 37.5 inches, which is actually why I use such a clean number, because I measure 1/8 after 37.5 inches and then cut between those two lines, leaving me with a clean 37.5. Now that the 4x4s were cut to length, it was time to carve out the pockets on the table saw, one at the top and one in the middle for all 6 legs. These are going to hold the 2x4s that run through them and on top of them, supporting the weight of the table. I had some game commentary going on in the background here, so we're going to throw some music on for this part. Now that all 6 of our legs for the 4x4 workbench are complete, we can start to work away at the slats we created on the table saw. This is the most tedious part of the project, but pretty satisfying as well when you finish because it lets the wood sit flush when it's fully built. Now that we're done chiseling out the 4x4 legs and filing down the edges so the 2x4s fit really nice later, we're going to move on to our 4x4 sections that will go between the table. We're going to need 6 of these, and we're also cutting some 1x1 that will hold our shelves on the second level. Note that I'm only going to need 4 of these to hold my shelves, but I'm cutting 5 because I made a mistake. And then I was put under heavy supervision by the shop dog, Sylvie. To secure the 1x1s to the bottom of the workbench for the second shelf, I used 2-inch screws in 3 places, 1 on each end and 1 in the middle after drilling pilot holes to prevent cracking. At this point, I was ready to see how everything fit, so I loosely laid it all on top of each other while still laying it down on its side, and decided to put in the 5/16 5-inch lag bolts as it sat there because it was pretty sturdy. So unfortunately, I don't have clamps big enough to hold this table together while I'm drilling the pilot holes, so I would frequently bump it and lose my original pilot hole. What I did was I grabbed a 7-inch Phillips head screwdriver and then would drive it through my original pilot hole to find the second one, sit on the frame, and then drill the 5-inch lag bolt in, securing it in place. It felt good to see the table come together and finally stand on its own 6 legs. After this, we were going to put in supports for the top and get ready to make the bottom slats for the second level. To secure the 2x4s that will sit under our tabletop for the workbench, I'm using 4 3-inch wood screws that will sit horizontally to secure those in place. Once I put the tabletop on, I'll be moving it forward so one side sits flush with the bench. I'll drill in a bunch of screws on that side and then basically line down the studs with a few other screws to support the table. These screws sit nice and flush into the wood, so I'm going to have a great surface to work on. The final task on our list for the workbench is to cut up the last 2 project sheets of 2x4 into slats so we can use them as our second shelf. Seeing this table come together has been an awesome experience. It's the biggest thing I've ever built with my own hands in this garage, and I can't wait for this iconic table to be a part of all the Messy Moto videos moving forward. There's going to be so much awesome stuff built on this table, and the first thing is going to be the engine to the 2006 Ducati 749. Thank you all so much for your support. Please like and subscribe, comment down below, show me the tables you've built, and let's build together. Messy Moto Garage out.
Honey, the neighbor's vacuuming the driveway again.